everyone, it's Dr. Erin here, one of the good doctors of Abbey Research, and I'm here with today's Good Doctors Diagnose for Monday, July 27th. Where the month of July went, I would like you all to tell me, please, in the comments. I don't know how it went any differently than June or May or April, except it's a lot hotter here this month than the previous months. That's about the only distinguishing feature. But I hope wherever you are in the world, you are safe and well. For today's GDD, I want to spend a few minutes talking about a specific incident that happened in the political sphere last week. There's a lot going on in the world. We don't normally talk about specific US politics here at Abbey Research, but the story I want to talk about is such a wonderful example, in a sad way, of what we mean at Abbey Research when we talk about issues being systemic or cultural. And we've talked about systemic racism a lot in the last few months with the Black Lives Matter protests here in the United States. But I want to talk today about systemic misogyny and abuse against women. And the story that I'm using for that is, if you hadn't heard, in the last week or so, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of the 14th District of New York was verbally accosted on the steps of the House by Representative Yoho, and both to her face and then when she walked away and went inside to vote, verbally abused to the press. She was called a number of things, including disgusting and dangerous, but also openly to the press, excuse my language, a fucking bitch. And on Thursday, the 23rd, checking my calendar, Representative Cortez spoke on the House floor about her experiences. And I'll include a link below to the full 10-minute speech that she gave. But she really unpacked in that 10 minutes the damage of systemic abuse like this. And the fact she talks about the fact that Representative Yoho was not alone. There was another male representative with him who did not intervene, who did not stop him. And it was that permission to treat her that way, as if treating anyone that way, never mind a colleague, was acceptable. Talking to any human that way was acceptable. Representative Yoho then proceeded after the incident to go on the House floor and make excuses for himself, including using the problematic excuse of being a husband and a father, as if that somehow justifies talking to another human being the way he talked to Representative Ocasio-Cortez. But she does such a great job of explaining that when incidents like this happen, whether it's on the House steps or in your office, in normal Illinois, when people don't intervene, when there aren't consequences or people aren't held accountable for their language and their actions, that's how things become cultural. You are given permission to treat other people that way. And that's what she outlined so well in her speech. She said the fact that he did this to the press and has not faced repercussions, the fact that he came onto the House floor and made excuses and his excuses were accepted by the House, has now given permission for other people to talk to other people that way. And she specifically mentioned men talking to women that way, but there's no excuse really for anyone to talk to anyone that way in a professional setting. And unfortunately for Representative Ocasio-Cortez and a lot of women, myself included, all around the world and certainly in this country, this was not the first time nor the last time she had heard that language in a professional setting. And again, further evidence of the systemic nature of this, that this is a way that a lot of men, but a lot of humans feel it is acceptable to talk to other human beings. And it's built into the power structures that we have in every work environment. So it's specifically within the US House of Congress, but pick a work environment around the country in any field, and you will find some level of systemic structural power, cultural abuse, derogatory language, and we have all the stats that back us up on this. So when you think about what this system could look like in your office, or how your culture does or does not deal with verbal abuse or hurtful language or leveraging power against another person who has upset you, really think about all the ways in which this could manifest in your office and what you can do to show accountability. Because if you allow something to continue to happen, behavior like this to continue to happen, it perpetuates the system. It embeds it in the culture of your office, like misogyny and abuse, racial abuse, gender-based abuse, sexuality-based abuse are embedded so much in parts of American culture as well. So for that example, I just wanted to highlight the power of her speech and the way she used language to talk about systemic abuse, and the power of toxic masculinity and systemic misogyny. And it's a great example of that. But I also wanted to highlight and push you to think about ways in which that might exist in your office culture and what you can do to protect all of your employees from going through any incident similar to what Representative Ocasio-Cortez suffered last week. So that's my rather serious Good Doctors Diagnose for this Monday. We hope you are safe and well wherever you are in the world, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Take care.